Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. It's Untethered Live on a Friday night. It's finally Friday. Here I am. Maybe I'll make it to the first of the weekend. Maybe.
No.
I might just sleep now. Anyway, I'm your host, Jake Johnson, and joining me always is the one, the only, the bandhammer herself.
Howdy, Untethered Live.
Amanda.
How is everybody doing tonight?
Fantastic. I can't complain myself. If I did, it would be uncalled for. How are you?
I'm great.
Sounds like it. A little excitement in your voice. I like it. Tonight is Friday. You know what that means? Absolutely nothing. But Amy says, hello, Untethered Live family. I'm extremely busy tonight with the rush going on. I'll be listening, liked and shared. Make sure that you don't get pledged by accident. You might end up standing in line drinking beer for a week or something like that. Amanda says, here's your gold star, Amy. Enjoy. Throw that at the pledges. And Amy says, I work until 11 tonight, and then I have to be at overtime at 7 a.m. That's good. That means money. I like it when those days happen. Amy says, hi, Jake and Amanda. Hello. How are you?
Hi, Amy, hon. Don't work too hard.
Yeah, don't work too hard. Work just hard enough.
Right?
Make that money, but don't work too hard.
Just get her done.
That's right. Amy says, I invited some friends. Well, that's fantastic. Maybe they'll show up. Maybe I'll have something to talk about. I don't have anything to talk about because it's been a very, very long, slow week. I've been working all week on a project that's kept me busy right up to the very end of the day, every day this week. And nothing has happened this week except for one thing, which I'll talk about tomorrow night because tonight's the wrong night for it. But it's a good one. It's juicy. You want to be there at Politics for sure. Who's with me, Amanda?
Just Amy so far.
Oh, there's 7 people here. 3 likes. Hit that like button, everybody. Subscribe, share, support, join in. Super chats are available in the chat box if you want to show a little bit of love. BJ. You can do that by going to CashApp $JakeJohnsonband if you want to. Get yourself a coffee cup down below. And also, go over and check us out on Facebook. It's a great place to hang out. It's called facebook.com/UntetheredLive chilling. The link is in the chat. You don't want to miss it. It's great. The ladies are killing it with the memes, and I have a thing going on over there once a week, at least once a week, maybe more than once a week. I will put out in the form of memes my research and development for my book, Everything is Bullshit, so you don't want to miss that. It's going to be good stuff all the way around. Not always plausible, but always good. Something to think about. So go check that out. Amanda, what's on the agenda for today? Who died?
I don't know of anybody that died.
Who lived?
Everybody.
Who got married?
Hi, Rachel.
Who got divorced?
I don't know.
Hey, Rachel. How are you, sweet lady? Nice to see you. Welcome to the show. Come on and take your shoes off. It's going to be easy tonight. It's going to be a quick one tonight. I can feel it in my bones.
I know why.
Because I'm tired.
No, because football started.
Oh, it's football. I see. Yep, that'll do it. It was like that last year.
Yep.
Everybody's watching football. Old Jake don't mean nothing when the ball's in there. That's all right with me, though. As long as y'all come back next week. Rachel, what are you up to this day? Are you having a good one?
Hope you ain't going to the casino.
Casino? I only hope that if you're a winner. Out of all of my extravagant travels and wonderful things that I've experienced in my life, I have never been to a real casino. I've been to one that was like in the back of a truck stop that had a few Keno games. That's it. Maybe 2 rooms, 3 or 4 games in each room.
Well,
that was it.
It's not. I mean, it's kind of cool.
Not like, the Bellagio like you'd see on Ocean's 11. I've never been to that kind of casino.
I've been to Hard Rock a few times. And it's extravagant. I mean, I don't know. To me, it was kind of overwhelming because everywhere you turned, there was nothing but games.
I think I've eaten at Hard Rock Cafe before, but I didn't go to the casino part. Might have been Planet Hollywood, though. I get those two confused.
Yeah, there is a difference.
I know there is. One of them's owned by Schwarzenegger and the other one's owned by Stallone, right?
Something like that.
And it is a good day. Good Friday, good evening. The country's well off. People are doing good. Nobody's up in the air freaking out. Everybody's kind of on an even keel. Weekend's coming around. And it's going to be nice. Get some rest.
Say I get to watch you sleep all weekend. Hi, Bill.
Nah, I think I'll be up doing some stuff. I got good sleep this week. I worked hard, but I got good sleep too. Bill Bennett, what's up, my brother? Nice to see you. Bill says, hello all. I'm on vacation till the 16th. Yippee. Free trip to Pigeon Forge. Probably don't spell it right. That's all right. I know what you're talking about. I think there's a D in pigeon and an E. I think it's pigeon, but I could be wrong. And it doesn't matter. It's nice that you're on vacation. What are you doing at Pigeon Forge? Isn't that a military base? That's a nice hot cup of coffee. Thank you to the people that provide the coffee for the show.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Thank you. The old Pigeon Forge. I don't think I've ever been to a fort either. Now that I think about it, I've read about a lot of them.
You've been to Fort DeSoto Beach, haven't you?
But not. I've been to Vero Beach.
Oh, Fort DeSoto Beach has got a big fort thing out there and a memorial and trivia and
Yep.
history and
I've
all
read
that.
about all that stuff, but I never went to any of those places. I mean, I live right next to where the Battle of Lexington and Concord happened, not too far from here, and there's 2 or 3 Civil War sites right down the road. And Blackbeard used to bring his ship into the Sound, into where Little Washington is, about 30 miles from here, and hang out all along that waterfront, which used to be like the equivalent of Vegas. You know, it was like casinos and bars and whorehouses and all of that up and down that little spot. It ain't like that now, but it was like that back in those days. And I've never been to any of those places either.
Interesting.
There's a place right up the road here, right around the corner, where the Indians did a thing. And there's a big plaque that tells you that they did a thing and which Indian it was. Tuscarora Indians.
Yeah.
I think they crossed a road or something. It's just whatever. It's like a duck crossing, but for Indians. 1 little, 2 little, 3 little Indian. Sorry.
That's just wrong. Stop that.
That means stop. How? That means go. 4 little, 5 little, 6 little Indians. Sorry. Amy says, hi, Bill and Rachel. Amy, how are you this fine evening? And hello, lurkers. Hello, lurkers. I don't think there's anybody lurking.
Yeah, I got 10 watching.
Yeah, there's 10 watching, but I think they're here. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 of us right there. I don't know who the rest of them. The other 5 are lurking. But hello to all you lurkers out there. 6 little, 7 little, 8 little Indians. I don't think that's how the song goes. Bill Bennett says, similar to a deer crossing or slow children playing, LOL. Yeah, kind of like that. It's just a big plaque out by the road. It's about this big, and it's like a stele, you know. And it's just made out of metal, and it tells whatever they did over there. I don't think I've ever read it. I know they did something over there, but I don't know what it was. Patty's here. She says, I'm lurking. Hey, Patty. How are you?
Hi, Patty Hun.
And you really want to get your panties in a twist. Somewhere in this vicinity, now I don't know where, you can look into it if you want to look, but somewhere during the war, a plane took off from Johnson Air Force Base and dropped a nuclear bomb somewhere. That fell off the plane or out of the plane. And it's still there because they never did find it. So somewhere in this area, in this general vicinity, but nobody knows exactly where, Johnson Air Force Base is about 35, 40 miles from here. So somewhere in this vicinity within a 150-mile radius, there's a nuclear bomb under the ground just sitting there. It's been there since the war. Which war? I don't know. Patty, I can't read it if you retract it. Retract it. Retract it. And Patty says, late but lurgan. That's all right. I'm glad you're here. Amy says, red dot or feather? Feather. The feather Indians. Yeah, the red dots. They're on the. They got the 7-Eleven on the other side of town. They got a plaque too, but it's made out of plastic. Has lights. Here we came to set up our shop, 7-Eleven. Thank you. Come again.
You have stolen from our store. Never return. Thank you. Come again.
I like the old dot heads. They're nice. I used to work with a guy from there. Very interesting character. And Bill Bennett says also, all the motels, right. And Patty says, heck, I couldn't hit the keys. Right on. Amy says, hi, Patty. And Bill says, me love you long time. That's a different Asian.
That's Asian and Chinese, isn't it?
That's Japanese, Chinese. Japanese, I think. Oh, me so horny. Me love you long time. That's Japanese, yeah. Yeah, we bombed the testosterone out of that country. I mean, you think about it. Before Pearl Harbor, it was all samurais and ninjas and warriors and honor and people with swords and big hairy masks. And after, all nothing but Hello Kitty and tentacle porn. That's it. No masculinity. They're like, we're done. We don't want no more of that.
Hi, Debbie.
Debbie, hello. Sweet lady. She says, for $1, I make you holler. Nice. That's Vietnam era. Patty says, dot heads, ha 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 ha, ha ha. And yeah, are funny. They are funny. They're hilarious. They got great senses of humor about who they are, about where they're from, about the differences of our cultures. They're great to talk to. I've had a lot of those guys that we've just sit and joked and laughed about the differences. And that's the best way to handle that sort of thing anyway.
They smell funny.
Well, they are from the desert. I don't think that's a they thing. I think it's a food thing or a personal hygiene thing, but it's not a they thing.
I don't know.
I think anybody can smell that way.
Well, I mean, yeah, but they have, I don't know how to explain it. It is, I guess it's probably a seasoning thing or something that.
Probably.
Or incense that they burn all the time. Yeah. They have an odor to them that's, I mean, I call it an odor.
It's not an odor. They like it. It's just unusual to our palate because we don't do that. There's nothing wrong with that, though.
No.
If you really want to get a sensation, go to a Jamaican restaurant. That's different. A real one, like a real Jamaican where they kill the goat out back and then bring it in and cook it.
Right.
Yeah, that's a different sensation there. Patty says, dollar store is F.I. Dollar store in Florida says everything's $1. Everything's a dollar store. You need help, you just holler. Everything's $1. Need help, just holler. Right. And Debbie says, there was a time when we could tease each other about our differences and no one took offense. Yes. And I still very much live by that set of rules. I don't buy into this woke nonsense. I don't care what other people's offenses are. If words hurt you, you got bigger problems than me being offended or being offended at me. Words don't hurt. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but I'm still leaving here with your girlfriend. Ha ha!
Goofball. Yes, Miss Patty, it is curry. They just have like a strong smell of it. I don't know.
And Patty says, still is, Debbie. Debbie, how you doing this fine Friday? Are you getting into all kinds of trouble tonight, honey?
She probably got Kevin tied up somewhere.
I've been scouring your Facebook posts, and I don't ever see anything about us over there on your Facebook posts. I see the other guy, but never me. What's up with that?
Ooh, Debbie.
Bad shit crazy. What's up, buddy? Nice to see you, my friend.
Hi, Bat.
How's your Friday going? And Patty says, I like hummus. I like hummus. I had to sound that one out. Us. Oh, hummus. Yeah, I don't. Sheep stomach packed with sausage. Debbie says, sticks and stones may break my bones, but whips and chains excite me.
Right.
Amen, sister. That shit, you staying out of trouble? One of these days, I'm going to get an actual conversation out of you. Kevin Bernard, what's up, my friend? Nice to see you. Kevin says, hello, Jake, Amanda, and Untethered Live family. Nice to see you, Kevin. How's your Friday going? Are you packed and excited and ready for the weekend?
Hi, Kevin.
Kev of the jungle.
Did Debbie untie you?
And Patty says, no, not the hummus I eat. Or what's into what you eat? I might be thinking of something else. I thought hummus was sheep stomach packed with sausage and other things.
I think hummus is a bean of some sort, isn't it?
No, it's definitely meat. Kevin says, Amanda has very pretty voice. Thank you.
Thank you.
The only time it sounds better is when I stop it up. Kevin says, hello, Patsy. Hello, Patty. And Debbie says, okay, shared. Am I forgiven? You've always been forgiven. I'm just teasing you, honey. I just like to know that you're talking about me when I'm not there.
Hoo-hoo, I was right.
Kevin says, hello, Debbie. What were you right about?
The hummus beans.
Oh, beans. Really?
Yes, I thought I've seen hummus beans.
Well, I stand corrected. I must be thinking about something else.
That's why I'm the cook.
Well, what's the other thing they eat over there? The Scots. Popular for eating.
No, I don't know what that is.
There's something. Haggis. That's what it is. Haggis. I stand corrected. I apologize. I was thinking of haggis, not hummus. I might like hummus too then. Chickpeas.
Yeah, It's a bean.
I know what chickpeas are. Sometimes they make them where they're kind of crunchy and there's yellow and black ones and you eat them like candy and they're salty and crunchy. I've had that before.
I thought people made like dip out of them and stuff.
Yeah, you can do all kinds of things with chickpeas. See there? I can be wrong. It ain't often, but you caught it on camera, so. Next time somebody says, well, you think you know everything, you can say, He mistook haggis and hummus one time.
As little as possible, Rachel.
And Rachel says, what are y'all doing this weekend? As little as possible. Sleeping mostly. Patty says, Indians usually have no meat. Really? I've never really eaten Indian, but I thought curry was Indian, and that's definitely got meat in it. Shows you how much I know. Thank you. Appreciate that. Kevin says, hello, Rachel. Yeah, I don't know much about foreign cuisine, apparently.
Speaking of cuisine, did you see them apple cinnamon muffins that Linda made the other day?
I did.
Oh, man.
They look very good.
Oh,
She ought to open a store.
I know, right?
Sell them online. You could put them in a little box and ship them out.
I wonder if that's what her flea market or her store or whatever is.
I don't know. She may already be doing that.
I don't know.
Rachel says, hi, Kevin. Kevin says, hello, Rachel. Kevin says, hello, Amy and Bill. Patty says, India worships cows. Okay, I got it. So they definitely don't eat beef.
I'm going to say, I thought Indians eat pork.
No, they eat like, I think they eat goat and lamb and that sort of thing. I think that's what curry is goat meat, isn't it?
No, curry is a seasoning.
Yeah, but they put it in a dish.
I mean, yeah, but you could have curry chicken and curry,
I
all
got
kind
you.
of stuff.
Yeah, but I'm talking. You can go to a curry place and get curry, and they call it curry. It's got meat in it, don't it?
No, curry's just a seasoning, though.
Okay. I don't eat that, so I wouldn't know.
It's a spicy seasoning.
Kevin says, Rachel, how are you feeling tonight? Question mark. And Patty says, cow is sacred because of milk. I thought it was because they worshipped it. And Rachel says, I don't know. The Greek eat goat. Okay. And baklava. I know that. That's oak leaves and honey, I think.
That's starship. It's our
Baklava.
yeah. Well, I can't think of what alien eats it.
What, alien?
What Star Trek?
Eats baklava?
Yeah, don't they talk about baklava on Star Trek?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, you're thinking of Gah, and that's Klingons. I see where you get the confusion, though. Kevin says, I eat just about anything. I have a very thin palate. I eat chicken, beef, pork, and that's pretty much it.
Until I got here.
And now I eat cooked chicken, beef, and pork.
You eat more than that.
Patty says, gives life the milk. Interesting. I always thought one of their gods was a cow. Patty says, I know nothing. Me too, apparently. Kevin says, you cook it, I'll eat it. Amen, brother. I'm there. And she's always asking me, what do you want for dinner? And I'm like, I don't care. I'm just stoked that I have dinner. I'm okay. Debbie says, Kevin doesn't even mind cheese in his taco innuendo intended. Cheese on his taco, huh? Blech.
Oh.
You're supposed to wash that off. Or, I don't know. Make a sandwich. Blech.
The squeeze cheese, or not the squeeze cheese, the easy cheese?
I think we're talking about a different kind of cheese.
I'm talking about the easy cheese on her taco.
Kevin, you dirty dog. Woof, woof. Yep. I like my tacos cheese-free. Thank you. Kevin says, cheese whiz. Cheese whiz. Cheese whiz on a cracker.
Cheese whiz in the cracker.
Well, that would be hard to do. We break the cracker. I think you can have cheese whiz on a cracker or under a cracker or around a cracker, but you cannot have cheese in a cracker. That would just be wrong. You might even have cheese beside the cracker, but not in it. What do you think? Think it's possible? Debbie says, on a chicken biscuit cracker. I like chicken biscuits. A lot of people don't know what that is, but a chicken biscuit is very delicious. If you've never had one, I strongly recommend you go get one. They come in a box labeled chicken biscuits.
Imagine that.
And she did not say that. She says, on chicken in a biscuit cracker. That's a different thing. But chicken biscuits, they're like dog treats. They look like dog treats. And they taste like something, but not chicken. But they're called chicken biscuits for some reason. Kevin says, I got one foot in hell and the other on a banana peel. Debbie's trying to push me over the edge. You are not going to hell, my friend. I promise you that. I give you my word on it, okay? You're coming with me. I've already laid claim to you. You might go any number of places, but hell ain't one of them.
Wow, I don't think I've seen Friday this quiet in a while.
I know, right? Makes me sleepy.
You just woke up.
I'm fixing to go back to sleep, too, as soon as this is over. Believe that.
Slacker.
Slacker. Kevin says, Debbie and I love breaking each other's chops. I can see that. And it's a match made in heaven, I think.
It's hilarious.
What's it going to take, Kevin? I'm taking notes, says Debbie. You'll not break him that easy. Because I sense that he likes it. And that means he could take a lot. I like it too sometimes. He's a sadist. Kevin says, LOL.
You like a lot of different things. It's just trying to figure out which mood you're in on which particular thing you like.
Well, I do have violent mood swings, that's for sure. But I'm a pretty simple man. All in all things said and done, I'm pretty easy, I think. I don't have a lot of weird requests or demands. I just want to be peaceful and happy. That's it. Everything else is fair. All's fair in love and war. I spent a great deal of my youth fighting through relationships, one right after another. And I can promise you that's not the way to go. It's much nicer to wake up in the morning and smile and be peaceful and be happy throughout the day and provide for each other and take care of each other's needs and fix what ails you.
Right.
You can fight all day long, but that ain't going to make it better. It never does. Nothing good comes from that. Debbie says all men are simple. Show up naked and bring a sandwich. Amen.
And coffee.
For me, it's coffee. And I'll do whatever you want me to do. Within reason. Sometimes without reason, but.
Her feet, Kevin.
Kevin says, what does a woman put behind her ears to make herself more attractive to men? Her feet. And Debbie says, I have a pizza for dinner.
And
I have a pizza for dinner at least once a week. Right, Amanda?
no, and have a pizza for dinner at least once a week.
And have a pizza. Yeah, I don't need that.
Yeah, definitely.
Once a month, maybe.
I told you about that conversation.
Did I? Did
yes, it's a me and Debbie conversation.
Gotcha. I vaguely remember something about it. It's hard to keep track of all these conversations. Kevin says, exactly, Jake. Right on. But listen, the best thing you can do if you are in a relationship, I don't give a damn what you think, what you need, what you want, what you care about. The best thing you can do is right off the bat, find out what your partner likes and do that. That's it. Just do that. Whatever they like, whatever they're into, whatever makes them feel good, do that. That'll provoke them to want to do the same thing for you. And a vicious cycle of that is a happy relationship, I promise. You can work out the details on everything else. But if you do something each other likes, that's the best thing to be. And you'd be surprised how many people miss that step or don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Don't care to take that step. Listen, I like to have my back rubbed. I like it because my back hurts. But if you take the time to do it, I'm all in on whatever you want. Simple.
Jake's forever getting a back rub, and a belly rub, and leg rub.
Hey. Keep it above the bridges. Debbie says, I like wrestling in lime jello. Well, hey.
Nice.
Might be hard to accommodate, but we can do this. A good partner won't freak out no matter what your kink is.
That's very,
go ahead.
That's very true.
The word no should not be in an adult's vocabulary. A negotiation, yes. The word no, that ain't getting you nowhere. You ever heard the expression flattery will get you everywhere? It's true. Kevin says, Debbie has my complete attention. Well, that's wonderful. Now what can I do to get you guys married? I'll perform the ceremony if you like. I'm good at that kind of thing. Because I want to be responsible for making life and making love. And if you're making love and it had anything to do with me, I'm a happy man. My goal in life is to put good things on the planet. Never getting married, says Debbie. Well, why not? Never say never, by the way. Why never getting married? You might have the perfect man right there. And by the way, there's different ways to get married. You can get married in the eyes of God. You can get married in the eyes of the state. Patty says, Bojangles has chicken biscuits. Do they? Chicken biscuits. Right. That's chicken in a biscuit. I mean chicken biscuits. They're chicken-flavored crackers. But they're not chicken-flavored. I don't know what flavor it is, but it ain't chicken. But they are good.
Bojangles got the real chicken biscuits.
Yes.
Wonder where Aaron is tonight.
He's probably lurking in the background. Aaron, are you here, buddy?
Yeah, he usually hides until somebody says something about him.
Aaron of the jungle.
Might be at the gym with his son still.
Maybe.
Or he could be fishing.
Let's all go to Bojangles and order a chicken biscuit.
Amy says Aaron's sick.
Aaron's sick? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. How about reach out and send him a message? Let him know we're thinking about him.
If she's too busy, I can do it.
That's who I'm talking to.
Oh, sorry. I got it.
All right, thank you. Tell him we love him and we're hoping for his quick recovery. All right. And Debbie says, I like Kevin. He has a really good friend. That is all it can be. I think that's all you. Just thought I'd ask. Ain't no need to get upset about it. I'm just trying to make you happy people. Nonetheless, I kind of feel the same way. I've already done all the marrying I care to do. But here I am, married. Kevin says Debbie is a very good friend. Well, that's all you can ask for. There's no wrong in that. I wasn't being pushy. I was just making a suggestion. No is fine. Patty says peace is what I'm seeking, right? Surprisingly a hard commodity to come by these days. Peace seems to be inevitable to be broken at some point for some reason. And I don't understand why. You'd think more people would be into peace, as nice as it is and all, but it seems to me that people can't wait to get offended about something. I am not that way. I'm quick to snap, but as soon as I've snapped, it's over. I don't hold a grudge, and I think that's the worst thing you can do. I've seen people get mad about something and stay mad for weeks. That ain't good for your soul. Let it go. It can't be that important. Some people are addicted to chaos, says Kevin, and that is correct. Chaos and discomfort.
I don't hold grudges on anybody. I don't let anybody live rent-free in my head.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how many people do that, though. We have a culture these days that seem to be, and I don't know if it's true or not. You hear the phrase a lot, but it seems to be they really are having Olympics with victimhood, trying to be the most victim. And I don't understand that thought at all. Why would you want to be a victim? And Patty says baklava is one of my favorite desserts. Besides, Kevin isn't rich enough. Ha ha ha. Oh. Well, that just hurts hitting a man in the wallet like that. Damn. Well, what is baklava, Patty? Because to me, it tastes like oak leaves dipped in honey. It kind of looks like that, too. I'm sure that's not what it is, but that's what it looks like. Kevin says, Debbie, I'm rich in heart. I can see that from here. Kevin's a sure enough, straight up good guy. You got my vouch for what that's worth. And Debbie says, so close, Kevin, so close. And Amy says, feral society. Yes, we have a feral society. A bunch of outdoor cats with no outdoor cat experience. Especially all these young people that look all soft and milky. Their little nose ring and a little thin mustache on the girls. What's with that? Every one of them really need to be punched in the face as hard as somebody can punch them one time, because all rules go out the window when you get punched in the face. That brings you to a new perspective on life. I really think that. Because ain't none of them ever had a hard time, ever. Ain't none of them ever been hungry or scared or weak or not knowing if you're going to live to see tomorrow. Things like that. That'll change your perspective on things real fast. In a lot of ways, I think that's probably why I have the disposition I have on life, because I spent the first portion of it in and out of hospitals when I was a child, and I really didn't know if I was going to live to be 16 or not. But I did, and I kept going. So here I am at 50, still going. Despite having 2 end dates suggested, and I passed both of them. Debbie says baklava is phyllo dough layered with butter between the layers and crushed pistachio nuts and honey. I knew there was honey in it. And I guess the phyllo dough is flaky, so it kind of looks like oak leaves. All right. And Patty says, I think I have heard of all of this before. I am here and everyone else is gone. Huh? I think I have heard all this before. Am I here and everyone else gone? No. No, we're here. I'm here. Did you eat a gummy? Did you eat the whole gummy? Did time seem to stop? You may have heard all of this before at random places, because it's the kind of thing that I preach on most of the time. But tonight is unique so far. Are you okay, Patty? Now you got me worried if I'm here.
We're all figments of each other's imagination.
Well, I kind of think that in 2006, I fell into an alternate reality somehow. Interestingly enough, CERN Hadron Collider came online in 2006. And interestingly enough, it was June 6th of 2006 when I noticed the change, which you can do the math on that. And also, interestingly enough, I'm not the only person that says that. So there's something to it. I just don't know what. Debbie says, am I a figment of your imagination, or are you one of mine? Well, I can promise you I'm a figment of no one's imagination because no one would imagine me. Amy says, I'm here. I'm just busy.
And that's not true.
I assure you, no one would imagine me.
Okay.
Are you saying you imagined me?
I have imagined you before.
Does that mean I'm a figment of your imagination?
When you were at that particular point in time, yes.
Spooky. I was in two places at once because I was here too.
Well, I have you in two places at once anytime I want you.
No, Patty, you're here, honey, and this is happening. And I can tell you some metaphysical stuff that'll blow your mind about reality that you may or may not want to hear or come to terms with. But in every sense that I know to be true, in reality's terms, you are physically here on this planet. What you are is up for debate because, to start with, an atom is 99%, 99.2% empty space. And you are made up of atoms, which means you are almost completely not there, if you do the math. There's more nothing in you than there is something in you. The fact that you are stable and physical is a miracle from God. And also, reality apparently seems to be a hologram because you can break it down to its smallest planks. A plank is the smallest measurement we can make. And there is actually an object in that plank, like a pixel. And if you put enough of those things together, you weave the fabric of reality. So in a way, reality is a hologram of some sort, or like an image on a plasma screen TV. And also, there's evidence to believe that time is not linear, but it's like a deck of cards being shuffled. Wherever you are is where the deck is, and then when the card in front of you is the future, and when you get to it, it becomes the present. The card behind you comes to the front, and it becomes the future, like that. So you're living in a slat of time, and there's nothing here and there's nothing here, but there is where you are, and time keeps repeating so that you can move forward through it, which is also why theoretically you cannot move backwards through time, but you can move forwards through time, if that makes any sense at all. And also, the soul, which is a relatively new thought in the world that they didn't think about back in the old days, but in my way of thinking and the things that I teach, the soul is currently in heaven with God right now as we speak. And it is connected via that silver cord talked about in the Old Testament, or New Testament, I can't remember where it's at. Ere the silver cord parts, or the clay pot breaks, that line, wherever that's at, that's how your soul is connected to this meat sack, and it drives it via Wi-Fi, kind of. And if your soul gets separated from this body, that's death. You die. So, in a way, you are not here. But you are, because you are in this body. Help. Amy says, I'm the imagination of my figment. I like it. Bill Bennett says, submitted to your approval. In a world mired by chaos and delivered by pixels, you might be well on your way to the future, or you might be in the twilight zone. Nice. Kevin says, Bill, sometimes it seems so. It does. Debbie says, when I need you, I just close my eyes and I see you. But I won't tell you what you did. I can imagine. Patty says, I don't know about twilight, but we are in some kind of zone. Yes. I think that God in his infinite created a pocket of time, space, and matter for us to exist within. And I think outside of that is nothing in every direction, except for God. Whatever God is, that's what's outside of time, space, and matter in every direction. He is God. I don't know if you can visualize that or not, but we live within this pocket of time, space, and matter, which is why he can see the whole thing from start to finish, because he can look at it and get down in it and move it around and look at it from all the angles. We can't do that because we're inside of it. All we can see is what's in front of us, but he can see the whole thing from start to finish because it's in this little pocket inside of his nothingness. That's what I think. I can't really imagine it because it's outside of my ability to imagine. My brain can't grapple with those complexities. But as far as I can visualize, that's what it looks like to me. Everything that we know about time, space, and matter is in a little pocket, and everything else is God. Kevin says, when I grow up, I want to be Debbie's emotional support pickle. LOL. And Patty says, I ate the gummy. All right.
Did you miss any?
I don't think so. Nope.
Okay.
I eat the gummy. What did you think I missed?
No, I thought that, about what Debbie said at 9:15.
Somebody else ate the gummy too. Debbie said, when I need you, I close my eyes and see you, but I won't tell you what you did. I read that.
Okay.
And then I said I could imagine, because that's what we're talking about, imagination. Debbie says, well, Kevin, you certainly are the right height.
Ouch.
Kevin, don't put up with that shit, man.
She went all the way there.
Kevin says, Debbie ℂ𝕚𝕝𝕝𝕝𝕝. Patty says, well, it seemed like I heard the conversation and then I heard the whole conversation again. Yeah, it's probably on a lot of people's minds, and we probably often talk about similar things. And I've done that before too, where I felt like I could guess what the next word was going to be because I've heard this all before, mostly with movies. But I've done that before too, but I assure you it's unique, authentic, one of a kind so far.
And there's nothing wrong with eating a gummy.
Yeah, if you eat the whole thing, there is.
You don't eat the whole thing.
I know. That's why there's something wrong with it. If you do, it'll make you really, 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 really stoned.
It'll make you really something.
Yeah. Make you feel like time stops and you're going to die. You won't, but it make you feel that way.
Make you fall asleep.
No, it will not. I ate a little pinch of a gummy one time, just a little, like in between my fingers pinch. Not even a leg, just a pinch. And I was so high that I couldn't fall asleep. All I could do was hear my inner monologue really loud all night long, sitting there with my eyes closed, hoping nobody else could hear it.
That's you. It doesn't do everybody that way.
And it was just a little pinch. I wouldn't imagine eating half a gummy or a leg of a gummy. That little pinch did me in. I don't need any more of that. What do you guys think? Y'all like that sort of thing? I'm not into it.
I think the gummies are very relaxing.
They don't make me relax.
Well, that's you. Just it doesn't affect everybody the way it affects you.
My body's like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah.
Red alert, red alert. Abandon all stations. Kevin says that stuff is a lot stronger than when we were young. I know, right? A lot more scientifically advanced. I don't think it's even the same, let alone the same ballpark. It's not even the same sport. And you start hearing light. I don't think I've ever been that high, but I could imagine it.
I've been high enough to hear light and smell colors.
I don't need nothing like that. I'm drowsy enough without drugs. Well, I reckon if you guys ain't got nothing else to talk about, we'll call it an early night and go to bed. It's about 9:30 when I'm thinking about quitting, unless y'all got something to talk about. Kevin says, I did too much of that stuff when I was younger, right? I did some stuff. I tried to smoke pot. I really did, because I like the idea of a pothead. I like the idea of smoking pot. The way people talk about it, I like that. But it does not work for me. When I was in my 20s, I tried it for a whole year, and I got nothing out of it. So I'm done with that. Bill Bennett says, I've got bad habits, but I try to always stay functional. LOL. I hear you. There's nothing wrong with that, man. We all have struggles, things that we have to deal with. But you know what? As long as you're aware of that and you can admit that, then you're already a step ahead in the direction of controlling it. Most people can't admit that it's a bad habit or they shouldn't be doing it. Debbie says, I've never had a gummy. The first time I smoked, I fell off the couch laughing and never did it again, right? I've never laughed or had the giggles from smoking pot. Mostly I panic. My body doesn't like to relax. I'm an upper, not a downer. So mostly if I smoke pot, I'm in a constant state of trying to keep myself from having a heart attack or a panic attack or something like that. And I don't enjoy it at all. And I try to talk myself down from being high the whole time. And I think everybody can hear my inner monologue, and I don't like that at all, because that's my private thoughts. You shouldn't be listening.
Yeah, Jake's mind is just not something that can deal with pot. He goes too much. He has constantly, even when he's sleeping, he's still figuring things out and mumbling things and talking about things and doing things, and
Oh yeah.
he never stops.
Yeah, I wake myself up often talking about something I have no idea what I'm talking about.
I wake him up often questioning him. I'm like, what are you talking about? Oh, I don't know.
Kevin says, I've done almost everything and none of it made me a better person, right? Right? The only thing that can make you a better person is you. That's it. Patty says, 10-4, good buddy. Got your ears on? Come on back. It's me says, I could have brought some things up tonight, but I'm storing it up for the right time because I'm humble. Apparently you're not humble, because that is a virtue signal and nobody cares. I'll bring it up for you because I don't have anything to hide. I don't know what you're talking about. It's me, but you're beating a dead horse, buddy.
Good. I'm proud of you, isn't me? Hi.
And Debbie says, on the inside, I am the whitest white woman you will ever meet. On the outside, I'm a 70s hippie. I hear you. Ain't nothing wrong with that either. Only I hope you take a bath, because hippies kind of stink. And Bill Bennett says, I got people dependent on me, and you only need one hit. And that's all it takes, right?
Aaron says he's coming now.
Okay. Kevin says, humble people don't say I'm humble. Right. Yep, that's a virtue signal. And nobody cares. Bring it on up, buddy. Whatever you think.
Don't nobody care. Over it.
I swear to God, he thinks he's got some kind of gotcha. He's going to get me. I don't think you understand that. That ain't going to hurt my feelings at all.
I am over it. Could care less.
Aaron said, boom. Hey, Aaron, what's up, brother?
Boom, chakalaka. Hi, Aaron. Hello.
Now, the party's happening now. Aaron's here. What you doing, buddy? What you up to tonight? I'm sorry you feel bad. Anything we can do to make it better? Debbie says, did you hand Aaron a tissue, Amanda?
No, I gave him a teddy bear.
And Kevin says, hello, Aaron. Nice to see you. Good for you, it's me. Go make it. I don't care. Aaron says, I was just resting. Right on. Sometimes you need rest. Patty says, I don't smoke anything. Only thing I do is gummies occasionally. Right on. Yeah, I don't mess with drugs. I've had my time with that, and it is not good for your body. It's not good for your brain. It's not good for anything. Unless you're the very rare person that it actually does something good for, which I don't think I've ever met one. All it's going to do, it's a never-ending battle against the end. It's like you're recycling down to nothing, you know. And the smart ones can get out before they hit nothing, but most people don't. Kevin says, rest up and get better, brother. And Bill Bennett says, I teach my family to be honest and speak your mind, no secrets. Right. That's the best way to be, Bill. Honest is easy to remember, and it's always the best policy.
Night, Bill.
Bill says, good night, guys. Thanks, Jake. Until next time, God bless. Bill, get you some rest, buddy. We'll see you next time. God bless you, and we love you. Kevin says, good night, Bill. And Aaron says, thanks for the bears.
You're welcome.
And Patty says, good night, Bill. Like my shirt? I made this shirt. I'm in the Lord's army. On the front line. So what, Aaron, do you have the flu or are you just tired? Aaron says, Jake, you know I don't miss seeing you guys unless I'm dead. But don't do that. We need you alive. I need you alive. Just tired? I got you. Me too. I'm about to fall asleep in my britches, so I understand.
Jake came home from work yesterday, laid down. I made him a cup of coffee. He laid down and fell asleep and didn't eat dinner until 11:30 last night.
Kevin says, Jake, question. I like it. That's what I'm here for. Has Jesus' body ever been found? No. There is a rumor they did find an ossuary. You know what an ossuary is? It's a box that they put bones in after a burial. Like they put them in the sepulcher and then close the tomb. And then months later or years later, they come back in and collect the bones and put them in a box. Alabaster, usually what they're made out of. And they put the box on the shelf in the tomb. And so it's just a neater way to collect bodies. And you could put another body in the same tomb after you have them in an ossuary. There is an ossuary that was found, and there's nothing in it, but it does have the names Mary, Joseph, and Jesus scratched on the side, like somebody found an ossuary and scratched those names on the side of it. And they claim that that's Jesus' tomb because of some symbol on the outside of it. It's not. Jesus' tomb is known. We know exactly where it is, and that's not the same place. And there's no evidence anywhere that that tomb belongs to anybody that even knew Jesus, let alone anybody in his family. And the name Mary is actually Maria, and that's where they get that wrong. So I don't think so. No, Jesus' body's never been found. It's Me says, I kind of liked you until I see how you react to adverse trolls that ask questions you don't like. I don't care about people asking questions I don't like. I care about people interrupting a good flow of chat, and I could care less whether you like me, buddy. My world is not going to stop turning because you decided to dislike me. Why are you still here if you don't like me?
If you don't like him, get out. Don't come back. Bye.
And Aaron says, it's me, stop your shit. Read the room, buddy.
Don't let the door hit you or the good Lord split you.
Bill Bennett says Jesus' body went to heaven. Yes, I think Jesus is still currently using his body because he resurrected from the dead. And Linda Davis is here. She says, hi, all. I'm sorry I'm late. Hi.
Hi, Linda Hun.
Nice to see you.
Them cinnamon apple muffins, though.
Kevin says, but they found the shroud that covered Jesus. They found a shroud that has been here since the time of Jesus that has a very inexplicable picture on it, for lack of a better word, that they cannot explain. It could be the Shroud of Turin. I used to think it wasn't. It could be the Shroud of Jesus. I used to think it wasn't because the Bible describes the shroud as having a separate piece of cloth for the face, and it wasn't there. But then they found that piece, and it belongs to the same shroud, so it's in another collection, but they do have it. It may very well be the shroud that covered Jesus. I don't know. If it is, cool. It has no power. It is not a relic. I mean, it is. It's not a powerful relic. It doesn't do anything. It won't do anything. It's just a sheet that has lived a long, long, long time. And it's cool that we have it. If it is, in fact, his shroud. But it could have been anybody's that was crucified in that manner. And there's only a few people that were crucified in that exact manner. Peter being one of them. So it could be Peter's shroud, actually. But the more they look at it, the more evidence they find. So it may very well be Jesus' shroud. But again, it's just a neat artifact. It shouldn't be worshipped or venerated. It's just neat to have. That's all. Kevin says, hello, Linda. And Linda says, hi, Kevin. And Debbie says, sometimes I wonder if Jesus' family tree descendants know who they are related to. They do not, because there aren't any. There are people that are related to Joseph and Mary, but Jesus had no children, so his line didn't continue beyond him. He does have a half-brother and several half-sisters. Maybe more than, I think he has 4 brothers and 3 sisters. I think that's how it is. I'm not real sure on that number, but I think that's it. So they're probably still in existence somewhere, and I doubt very seriously they know who they are. But they aren't anybody. They're just, their parents were lucky enough to know Jesus. You know, their mother was lucky enough to have born Jesus, but she has no power in and of herself. Aaron says, Linda Davis, world famous. Right on. Yeah, she's got yams. Or muffins.
I was going to say apple cinnamon muffins.
Muffins. Linda says, hey, Aaron. And Aaron says, hugs. And Bill says, it's me. Lay it all out there. You were here for a reason. Right? I've been trying to get him to do that since he's been talking that nonsense. The truth is he don't have nothing except he can't beat me, and that kills him.
Hi, Monkey. And no, we're not really talking about religion. It was just a question that came up that was being answered.
Kevin says, science can't explain the image on the shroud and how it got there. Correct. Yeah, it's a very unusual thing. It's not actually an image. It's a negative of an image. And it's like the pigment is missing from the cloth. And it forms a negative image. So if you took a negative picture of it, it would make a positive image. You know how the old days they used to develop film? They start with a negative and then reverse it and then put it through some chemicals and make an image positive. That's kind of what it is. It's in the process of making an image, but it isn't actually an image. In fact, you can't even see it unless you're looking right at it in a certain light. Monkey Juice says, it's Friday night. We're talking religion. We're talking whatever comes up, Monkey Juice. It's me says, yep, Bill, but I've been misinterpreted. Oh, well. No, you haven't, because you haven't said anything. All you're doing is beating around the bush, circling the drain. You're not saying anything. You have to say something to be misinterpreted. Huffing and puffing and claiming to have something that you don't ever bring up is not saying something. If you got it, say it. If not, shut the hell up. It's as simple as that. And I have been more than accommodating for your nonsense. You've been on my last nerve for months, and I haven't kicked you out, and I've stopped everybody else from doing it too. You'd have been gone a long time ago if I'd not stepped in and stopped you from getting kicked out. But I'm at the end of my rope. If you don't spit it out, I'll kick you out.
You don't know how many times I've almost blocked you. He's like, no, don't do it. And I'm not the only one.
And Debbie says, that's what I meant, the half-siblings. Yeah, they might be still in existence. I don't know. There's no record like a lineage, like a genealogy. There's no record of who they are or where they went. There might be some obscure texts. There's some obscure texts about some of the people that were around Jesus, like Mary Magdalene went to France. We know that. She's got a tomb there. And, things like that. But I don't know if they know who they are or not. That would be interesting to find out. But it's not like the Dan Brown novel, The Holy Grail, which is a mistranslation. Sangreal in French means holy bloodline. Sangreal in Greek means holy cup. Whatever. Or holy vessel. And Debbie says, I think being related to historical figures would be interesting, I bet. And Kevin says, hello, Muggy. And Kevin says, Muggy, I just have a lot of questions, and I have a lot of answers, so please ask. That's why I'm here, Kevin. I'm here to answer you. And Debbie says, it's me. Is that one turd that will not flush? And apparently, he's the only one that doesn't know that. Monkey Juice says, Jake and Amanda put up my shit. It's me must be bad. I put up with your shit. No, I put up with his too. He keeps saying that he's gonna lay me out with some facts or some knowledge or something, but he won't ever say what or why, and I'm getting tired of it, actually. He likes to he likes to insinuate that I'm less than what I claim to be, or that I'm not worthy of the title that I hold or something like that. And as best as I can figure, and it's getting old.
And he says Jake is double-minded.
Anybody who's ever heard me talk knows that ain't true. I'll let my reputation speak for itself. I'm more than happy to put it online. Kevin says, Debbie 𝕠𝕠𝕠𝕠. And Linda says, where's my Amy girl? She's here. She's working. And Kevin says, Linda, Amy is here. Just don't have time to chat. And Linda says, hey, Amy, love you, heart. Amen.
Yes, she's got a frat party to deal with tonight. Dun, 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 dun.
Yep.
Could hear a pin drop.
Amy says, Proverbs 13:20. The one who walks with the wise will become wise, but a companion of fools will suffer harm. Right on. Amen. Amy says, I'm a hard-working woman. Yeah, I like that song. But I can't get behind it, though. It bothers me.
What, I'm a hardworking man?
Yeah, it bothers me.
Why?
Well, let's think about it. I'm a hard-working man.
Wear a steel hard
I
hat.
wear a steel hard hat. I can ride, rope, hammer, and paint, and do things with my hands that most men can't. I can't get ahead no matter how hard I try. I'm getting really good at barely getting by. First of all of the things he listed do not require a hard hat.
Right.
So he's just walking around with a hard hat on for no reason. Second of all, if he ain't making any money and he can't get ahead, he's not working very hard. So this is a master class in complaining about one's station in life.
And then he's doing things with his hands that most men can't.
Yeah, but not requiring a hard hat.
Right.
So it ain't much. Amy says, I didn't get everything, but I got what I was going to get. They don't like it. They can get me some help. Amen. You need help. It's me says, I've said what and why. No, you haven't. My opinion doesn't matter. No, it doesn't. Double-minded and on the fence. No, I'm not. I used to be a prime example, humbly speaking. Don't know what you're talking about.
Why? Because he plays more music than Christian music or gospel music, and he cusses and smokes and does things that most normal pastors don't do. What?
But I got a hard hat.
What the hell does that have to do with the price of tea in China?
Exactly. Here's the thing you miss. All the other pastors in the world do all that stuff too. They just don't tell you about it. They're double-minded. I'm not. Linda Davis says, well, I got some news today. My doctor thinks I am a medical anomaly. I should probably be in kidney failure, but I'm not. That's amazing.
Wow.
Thank God. Praise God for him sparing you. That's what that is. Congratulations, Linda. You are a medical anomaly. Debbie says, I wouldn't be chatting either if I had men walking around in sheets and drunk. I would be waiting for the sheet to slip. Okay. Monkey Juice says, smoking, drinking, gambling, my favorite things. Look, I have been upfront and honest about the fact that I am not a great pious man. I'm not a righteous man. I'm not even a good man. But I do know a thing or two, and that's why God put me here, to share what I know. And that's what I'm doing. If that ain't enough for some people, it just ain't enough. I'm not trying to save or convert anybody. I'm just trying to carry on a conversation about what's reality. Don't like it? Hit the bricks. Simple as that. Amy says, frat rush. They have fraternal students organizations to pad a resume, but not the toga kind of frat. You got the stuffy kind of fraternity. Right. Nobody's having fun is what you're saying. Kevin says, what does soybeans and dildos have in common? They both make your dick fall off?
They're both meat substitutes.
They're both meat substitutes. Aaron says, I told you, Linda, that you would be good. Amen. And Amy says, meat substitutes? Apparently that's it. Kevin says, they are both used as meat substitutes. Amen. Linda says, I know, Aaron. I left there on a high this morning. That's wonderful. I'm so glad to hear that you're doing good. I was worried about you, but God is good all the time.
Amen to that.
Amy says, both men and women in this frat rush. Really? Kind of hard to call it a fraternity then, isn't it? It's a soror fraternity. Linda says, God still has a plan for me. Of course he does. Amen. Debbie says, Amy working a frat party. At every frat party I've been to, that is what I saw anyway. Well, I've been to a few myself. I used to play frat parties, and they get wild. I don't think this is one of those, though. I think this is one of those, like nerd fraternities where everybody's stuck on calculus, and they got pocket protectors and big horn rim glasses and drink a lot of beer. I think they made a movie about it in the 80s.
I was just going to say, wasn't there a movie about that?
Mm-hmm. Monkey Juice says, LOL, good one. Kevin says, my doctor suggested chemo. They can stick that shit up their ass. I agree. I'm not doing all that. Yeah, it's best if you need chemo, it's best that you ride this joker till the wheels fall off. Damn the chemo, because all that's going to do, and I'm not a doctor, don't listen to me, but you can't cure something when the cure is worse than the disease. What chemo does is it tries to kill everything in your body, including you. It just hopes that you don't die before the cancer does. And that's a big hope, and it rarely ever works out. It does occasionally, but most of the time you succumb to it before you do the cancer. And that's a statistic you can look up. Again, I'm not a doctor, and I'm not trying to give you advice. But me personally, I don't want nothing to do with it. Aaron says, yes, Linda, Need that bread. Now, Aaron thinks God put you here to make us bread. Amy says, God has a plan for everyone, but maybe there's too much free will and everyone keeps messing up God's plan. You might be onto something there, Amy. I think most of us get in our own ways a lot. I think that if you could just get out of your way and keep your mouth shut and stay humble, then you could hear what God has in store for you. And if you act accordingly, you might actually can achieve it. But you're right. I think we get in our own way a lot. Right, it's me? And by the way, I'm still waiting for you to point out anything I've ever said that was wrong.
Just, I'm at the bottom of I'm going there. No, it's me. He does not. And it is not.
I don't know what you're referring to. If you're going to communicate what you think, you need to read the chat that you're responding to.
It's me's comment was one of your followers asked to send in their tithes. Ain't that 10% of their income to your ministry?
No, you moron.
They send-
Tithing is called a 10% tithe in the Bible because at that time they tithed with wheat and barley, and it also included members of the temple. A tithe here is whatever you can spare if you have it to spare. I have people send me $5, $10, $100, sometimes $300, sometimes $5. Very rarely. I make about $150 a month off of this channel. A month. You understand that? Sometimes I make 200 or 300, but very rarely. Most of the time it's around 150. These people are not members of a church. They're not deacons. If you are a member of a church, then you absolutely should tithe to that church because you're a member. That means your job is to hold that church up. And yes, it is a requirement that you tithe. It is a suggestion that it's 10%. Who are you talking to or about?
And what difference does what he does in his ministry have to do with you?
Right. Nobody asked you for a damn thing, let alone your opinion. You ask anybody in this chat, anytime, any day of the week, whether I've ever put a price tag on anything they've ever given me, whether I've ever asked them for money outside of the show, or suggested that they give me any, aside from what I say every night, twice a show, in the beginning and at the end, which is a suggestion. I don't ask for money, but I work plenty hard. I put in 5 nights a week and have been doing so without a break for the last 12 years. I spend a great deal of time trying to influence and teach, educate, and personally attend to the people in my chat. I have an email address and a phone number that people call, and when they have problems, we talk it out. I've done that more than once for more than many people here.
I have also.
We provide a service largely for free. I'm sorry that makes you so jealous that somebody would pay me to do my job.
And if you ain't put nothing in the pot, it don't matter to you anyway. It should be no concern of yours.
Yeah, when's the last time you gave any money to this ministry, which you clearly consume a lot of its time?
Anyway, moving on.
Can I get back to the chat now?
Sorry about that. That just tweaked my feather.
Kevin says, chemo is an allergic reaction. Chemo for an allergic reaction, right. Amy says, fraternal organizations to pad a resume. Right on. Aaron says, I like the shirt, Jake. Thank you, sir. I'm in the Lord's army. Sometimes I wear the full armor. Amy says, hold on, my chat jumped.
It's not a party, it's a rush.
Yeah, it's not a party, it's a rush. Walter Davis, good evening, brother. Nice to see you, Walter.
Howdy, Walter.
And Walter sent me a picture, video this week about mega churches and how they are taking advantage of their flocks which is what apparently It's Me thinks I'm doing here.
Or the church that got busted in Florida just this last week.
Yeah, there are a lot of people out there that take advantage of their flock. They take every last penny they can get from them, and they really do take advantage of them. I don't do that. Not even a little bit.
Guy wearing a $6,000 Louis Vuitton suit.
But since you brought it up, what I do ain't free. It costs a lot of money for this equipment to keep it up, to keep it going, to keep the lights on. And if somebody can contribute to that, they're trying to help the community grow and keep me on the air. Because realistically, working for nothing is not a good business model.
And internet.
How dare you question anybody that has the good graces to give to this ministry? They are giving in the name of God, and God accepts that. But I've never promised them anything for that money other than my time. And they know that up front. Ask anybody here if they think they're getting something for their money that I'm not providing. Like I said earlier, I'll let my reputation speak for itself. Kevin says, hello, Walter. And Linda says, hi, Walter. And Amy says, chemo for what, Kevin? Debbie says, I grew up in a college town and had a fake ID at 16. That's all I'm confessing to. Well, I live in a college town, so I know what you're talking about. And It's Me says, one of your followers asked to send in their tithes. Ain't that 10% of their income to your ministry? No. No one has ever given me 10% of their income to my ministry. That's ridiculous. Nor would I expect that from anybody. So, once again, you are reaching for things that aren't there, assuming things that make you look like an asshole and a moron. None of those things are true. So, move on. What's the next problem you have with me, oh great wise sir? Kevin says allergic reaction to sunlight. Yeah, antibiotics will do that too. Make you look like Barney. Ask me how I know. Aaron says, our daily bread, Linda. Amen. Monkey Juice says, I'm definitely my own worst enemy. But that's life. It really is. And Amy says, Jake only asks that if people can contribute, only give what they can. It's me. Right. Whatever you got, if you have it. Don't ever give me money that you need. I've always said that. If you're going to go out partying and blow that money, it would be better served here. And it would be good for you to contribute to it. But don't give me money that you need for your rent or something like that. That's retarded. Why would anybody do that? There's a reason I don't wear an Armani suit and Rolex. I'm not trying to put on any airs. Amy says, don't be a vaginal cleaning fluid, a.k.a. a douchebag. Kevin says, LOL. And Linda says, monkey, that goes for most of us all. And Kevin says, it's me. Do you donate anything? Yeah, that's a good question. It's me. What's your tithe situation look like? Aaron says, Kev, he just sits and starts mess. And Monkey says, nope, Jake doesn't ask for money. Never once have I put a $sign on anything. Except for my Cash App. $, Jake Johnson Band. That's it. And Amy says, I can only afford my monthly membership, $2 a month. But it's the principle of the matter. Have I ever suggested that you raise that up, pay more? Or have I ever made you feel bad because that's all you can afford?
It's the whole reason that membership is there.
And Kevin says, because if you don't, you're no one to talk. If you don't contribute, what business is it of yours? Walter Davis says, hey, Jake, Amanda, Amy, Aaron, Kevin, Debbie, Monkey, it's me, Linda, Bill, and Patty. And Rachel, who's been awful quiet lately.
She probably fell asleep.
Amy says, used vaginal cleaning fluid.
Ugh.
That's even worse. It's me. Aaron says, Walter, welcome. And Patty says, hi, Walter. And Amy says, hi, Aaron and Walter. I wonder if you're going to get a comeback to any of that. Probably not. Amy says, we helped Rachel through a rough patch last week. That's wonderful. And by the way, a lot of good comes out of this channel. It's me. A lot of people are reaching out to help each other through hard times. I have personally sent Bibles to people. Other people here have sent Bibles to people because that's what we're here to do, to make life easier for everybody here. I'll offer my services every week. And I've told more than one of them, if they needed me, I'd be there for them. How many pastors have you heard say that? Aaron says, hugs, Amy. And Aaron says, now Rachel is here. She is. I don't know if she's still awake, but she's here. Or was earlier. Linda says, Aaron and Amy were there for me this past week. And Walter says, feed Jake if you want. Not, we need to build a giant church with a giant sound stage and a spread the word and save souls. So we need a few $100,000. But give to your homeless and you will go to heaven. Right. Yeah, we don't do all of that. I would never, ever. I wouldn't know what to do if somebody offered me $1,000. I would give it back probably. That's way too much. Somebody offered me $200 once, and it was more than I could take. They had to talk me into taking it. I felt bad about it for weeks. There has been more, but, you know, that's private. Aaron says, Linda, I'm here for you for life. It's what we do. Right on. And Linda says, Aaron, I appreciate you all. And Walter says, I was alone the last few weeks. Well, no need to be alone, Walter. Reach out. You got my phone number. It's me says, the brick and mortar church building I attend doesn't pass a collection plate. Well, aren't you a Mr. Signal of virtuosity? You're just a knight in shining armor, aren't you? It said to let God speak to them, to give a love offering. Well, I guess you haven't actually read the Bible because there's quite a lot on the subject in the Bible. And all of it says that there should be a person doing the teaching and that the people being taught should support the church to keep it up. All of it. All of the temples had a treasury for the money coming in from the flock. All of them. It's built into God's word. Virtue signaling. You must be a Democrat because you sound a lot like one. I wouldn't be surprised at this point if you didn't have a nose ring and blue hair. Aaron says, thank you for everything you do, Jake and Amanda. Yeah, you don't seem to hear that part.
You're welcome, Aaron.
You're welcome, Aaron, obviously. Patty says, I agree, Aaron. And Aaron says, Walter, Jake's chat's about to jump.
You're welcome too, Miss Patty.
Walter, you don't have to be alone. You have people to reach out to, says Aaron. And that's true. You can reach out to all of us. And Aaron says, Linda, you are welcome. And Kevin says, it's me. Sounds like one of those people that are addicted to chaos. Yes. And Debbie says, is that the only thing you got? Is that the only thing you've been holding on to for months? You don't have more than that? Haven't you caught me with a prostitute or something? Or, you know, scandalous pictures of me with underage girls or anything? Nothing? You're mad because people donate money to me?
Or you made a comment about a brick and mortar church ripping people off, and he got his little panties in a wad.
I hate to tell you this, but most of those churches, in fact, all of those churches, are businesses.
Yeah,
They're there to make money. And they don't care what it takes to get it.
The money you give the church, they're paying the pastor's rent and electricity and his car payment and whatever else he wants to spend the money on.
Have you ever heard the word parsonage? Do you know what that is? That is a house that is paid for by the church that the pastor lives in for free. Because in order to do this job, I have to dedicate most of my time for years to know it well enough to teach it. 40 years I've had my nose in this book. 40 years I've done work for free. So if somebody donates a couple of bucks here and there to help me keep going, that's a blessing. That's not anything to be upset about. Debbie says, I don't donate, and Jake still gives me the occasional ninny shot. Of course I will. And Aaron says, Kev, right on. Smiley face Debbie. And Kevin says, Debbie talked me into purchasing my first Bible, the definition of a good friend. Amen. That's wonderful. And thank you, Debbie. And thank you, Kevin, for trusting her and buying it. And Walter Davis says, hi, Rachel. Monkey Juice says, when I win Powerball tomorrow, Jake, I'll donate $1 million just because you're a good guy. Well, thank you, sir. And if you win the Powerball tomorrow, I'll accept that. And I hope it's way more than $1 million. The Powerball, not the donation. Walter says, Kevin, I got work and my mother with dementia. And Aaron says, sorry, Walter. Debbie says, I'm thinking it's me should focus on the whole Bible and not just the book of James. Yeah, there's a lot you're missing there. And Kevin says, sorry, Walter. That's very stressful. Yes, it is. And he's diehard at taking care of all that. Walter says, no stress. I got Jesus to talk to. Amen. And his book to read. And Aaron says, good deal, Walter. Amy says, some drunk college students is screaming the Star-Spangled Banner, half naked, on the corner. And you said it wasn't that kind of party. I think they're just getting started. They'll all be naked in 30 minutes. Watch. And Linda says, LOL, Amy. And Amy says, Aaron got me a really nice Bible, and I read it every day. That's called fruit. It's me. You judge my man by the fruit that he bears. What those testimonies are is called fruit. And this ministry, whether you like it or not, is spreading the word, the gospel, the good news, and people are getting into it. How many people have you saved? How many people have you brought to the word of God? Since we're keeping score. I didn't know that we were, but since you seem to have an affinity for it, what's your answer? Don't wait for the translation. Answer me now. Sorry. Star Trek reference. Amanda says, video it, Amy. Video it? Her reading the Bible every day? Oh, no. The half-drunk Star-Spangled Banner guy. Got it. Aaron says, is it a girl? LOL. Is the drunk student a girl? And Kevin says, Amy, a priceless gift. Yes, it is. And I'm working on getting some Untethered Live Bibles together to give to all the members. That's going to be fun, too. And Linda Davis says, I was thinking the same thing, Amanda. Walter Davis says, Jake, put the link to the video I sent you. I can't right now. It's on my phone. I'd have to get it over to my computer and then put it in, but I'll post it in the community chat after the show. Monkey Juice says, same here, Walter. I know where you're coming from. Amy says, the guy is hammered. So it's a guy. Linda says, Walter, you can put the link on the Facebook page if you want. Yeah, you can do that. I'll post it in the community post after the show, but if you want to go ahead and put it on the Facebook page, you can do that. It's me. You're not talking a whole lot, buddy. What happened? Can't get your tongue? Walter says, okay, I'll try. And Amy says, live long and prosper. Amy says, here comes the cops. He's trying to run. It's me says, I'm waiting on the reading of James and how you'll respond to my interpretation of what it means, especially you, because you're my YouTuber friend, ? Without anger, I hope. It depends on what you ask. It's me. It depends on how much you interrupt my study. You might be listening to it muted. If you get out of line, that's exactly what's going to happen. I don't do this for you to interrupt. I provide a Q&A at the end of the show for those very questions. But you're not going to be stumble-blocking my people. I don't know who you think you are, but you don't have that right. And as your friend goes, you haven't been a very good friend to me. What makes you think I deserve to be your friend or that you deserve my friendship? You think you can just treat people however you want to and they just bow down at your presence? It's not how it works, buddy. You give respect. That's how you get it. Amanda says, damn, Amy, we are missing it. Aaron says, LOL, drunk running and sausage swinging. Cops theme song playing. Bad boys, bad boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when it's swinging at you? And Amanda says, here's the Facebook page if you need the link. Kevin says, naked college girls singing the Star Spangled Banner. How far from New Jersey? We had to make a trip out of that, won't we, Kevin? Walter says, I posted it to my Facebook. Can't get it to the community page. But you can go to the Facebook page. That's Untethered Live Chillin'. That's the Facebook page. And post it there.
He can just go on his page and go to the post that he just made in the comments and put the @ symbol in Untethered Live Family Chillin', and it'll tag the
Untethered
page.
Live Chillin', yeah.
Yeah, Untethered Live Chillin', and it'll tag our page.
There you go. Just tag the post on your page, and it'll go to that page. Amy says he didn't get very far. He fell down before the cops got out of the car. Well, somebody's going to jail. Sleep it off. And Linda says, now I have that image in my head, Aaron. Smiley, smiley, smiley. Aaron says, LOL, Amy. And Debbie says, Aaron just reminded me of the only movie I never finished watching, Sausage Party. I've never watched that movie. I don't like the guy. I can't remember his name. Seth Rogen. I don't like that guy, so I didn't watch that movie. Amanda says, LOL, Aaron. And Linda says, you just have to tag the page, Walter. That's right. And Amy says, Sausage Party is not a children's movie. No, it's not. Walter says, Linda, grab it off my page. I don't know how to do it. And where in Jersey are you, Kevin? Walter asks. because Kevin's in Jersey too. Aaron says, LOL, Jose, can you see? And Jose's like, yes, yes, I can see the naked girls. It's me says, I'll respond after the reading. I apologize for the interfering with your students. And you denied I did. What's up with that? And I don't remember you saying a word like that. What's up with that is it didn't happen tonight. So I'm not responding to what I said or didn't say at the time. Whatever I said or didn't say was in response to what you did or didn't say. Go back and watch the video. I think you'll find that I gave you credit for what you did. Or didn't do. Amy says, smiley. And Kevin says, Aaron, LOL. And Kevin says, Walter Matawan, I work in deal. Matawan. Amy says, you did apologize, but then you kept doing it. Right. So it doesn't matter if you say I'm sorry and then keep doing it. Just like when you ask for forgiveness and then keep sinning, it doesn't count. So I'm sure that's what happened. I don't particularly remember it because, as you might notice, I have a lot of conversations, not just yours, but whatever. Walter says, Kevin, driving right past you tomorrow, heading to Tom's River from Flemington. And Aaron says, Amy speaks facts. Release the Kraken. And Linda says, done, Walter. Thank you, Linda. Y'all go check out that video if y'all ain't got nothing else to do after the show. Kevin says, Matawan. Okay. Not Matawan. So it's not like Ottawa in Canada. I know, you're thinking it's Ottawa. No, it's not. Walter Davis says, thanks, Linda. And Kevin says, Tom's River's about 40 minutes away. Well, you guys are pretty close to each other, a lot closer than we are. Well, it's been an exciting night. I've enjoyed it. It's me says, I didn't keep anything during the Bible reading. I think you need to go back and watch that video again. You certainly did.
No, he waited until the Bible reading was over and then he started it.
Either way, what makes you think I want to listen to all that nonsense? Especially when you won't say what the problem is, and you still hadn't really said much. And what you did say, you were wrong about. So why do you think I want to keep listening to that? Why do you think that what you've got to say is more relevant than what anybody else has to say? And why do you think that I should allow you free space in my mind?
And we're all here to unwind and relax and calm down and enjoy the evening together, not be aggravated all freaking night long.
And also, people have asked you like 3 questions that you have not answered. When are you going to answer their questions? You want me to answer yours? Isn't what's good for the goose good for the gander? Or are you just not willing to say that you're not worth a shit when it comes to supporting a channel that you want to take advantage of?
And talk shit about.
And then talk shit about the other people. When you ain't got no right to do that in the first place. That's why I'm angry. It has nothing to do with you asking questions I don't like. Walter Davis says, yep, your exit 120 and Tom's River is 81 off the parkway. Isn't it interesting that you drive on a parkway and park on a driveway? Why is that? It's me says, Amanda, thanks for your memory, heart.
You're welcome, it's me.
Sue Woods, hello, darling. How are you?
Hi, Sue.
Hey, hey. Oh, baby. Hey, hey. Kevin says, hello, Sue. Walter says, hi, Sue. And Linda says, hi, Sue. Hi, Sue. Sue says, hi, Kevin. And hi, Walter. And hi, Linda. Yeah. I said hi, too.
Me too. We're last. We don't rank high enough in her book.
Walter says, the world is strange, Jake. Yes, it is. It's very strange.
The world is bullshit.
Well, the world ain't, but everything in it is. Amy says, hello, Susie. And Susie says, hi, Jake. Kevin says, question for Jake. Have you ever listened to the new Riders of the Purple Sage? I can't say that I have. New Riders of the Purple Sage.
I don't think I've ever heard of them.
I don't think I have either. Is it a band? And Sue says, Amy. And Walter says, they were good, Kevin. I guess it's a band. I'll look it up. And Linda says, I was jamming all day. And I was one of those annoying people driving down the highway with radio blasting and singing along. Smiley face. That's awesome.
You go, girl.
And Kevin says, early Jerry Garcia. Oh, well, I know it was good because he's a heck of a guitar player. Sue says, I made a medieval wimple in Vail today. I absolutely love it. I feel so beautiful wearing it. I bet you are. I don't know what a wimple is, but I bet it's more beautiful than it sounds. And Amy says, everything's bullshit. Yes, it is. And it don't get better. Why don't you share a picture of you wearing it to the Facebook page there, Sue? Let everybody see your lovely work. Linda says, put a pic on the page so we can see, Sue. Nice alliteration there, Linda. Put a pic on the page so we can see, Sue. Very good. I like that kind of thing. Kevin says, Jake is a pedal steel horizontal guitar. Sort of. It don't play like a guitar. It plays harmonically. It's tuned to a C9 or an E7. There's other tunings, but those are the two main ones. And you play it with a bar right across the edge of it. And then you have pedals which bend the note up a half step or down a half step, which form chords. So it's kind of like a lead instrument, kind of like a violin, kind of like a guitar, but it makes a very eerie, unique, whiny sound that is unmistakable. It's not exactly a guitar, but it's in the guitar family. And Linda says, great minds, Jake. Right on. And Amy says, giggles at the word wimple. And Sue says, Jake, a wimple is a wrinkled piece of cloth that you see around the neck and under the chin of medieval women. I got you. I know exactly what you're talking about. Walter says, it was a side band of the Grateful Dead. The Warlocks was the first name of the Dead. Everyone in the band had a private band. Right on. Yeah, a lot of bands are like that. Skinner and Blackfoot, they all kind of intermingle and they have their own little side projects. Linda says, now that's the Deadhead I used to know, Walter. Yeah, I never really got into the Grateful Dead, but I'll check out the Purple Haze guys. I got to go back and find that. What is it? Riders of the Purple Haze? Sage. Riders of the Purple Sage. The new Riders of the Purple Sage. I'll check it out. Walter says, I believe the pedal steel is used a lot in the new Riders. Right on. Probably so. And Linda says, and I read that one. Amy says, I saw a guitar at Goodwill last week and they wanted $60 at freaking Goodwill. And they're getting outrageous. $8 for a pair of pants. Well, what kind of guitar was it? Sometimes you get some really good deals at the Goodwill for guitars. $60 is nothing, especially if it's a good name brand. I'd send you $60 to send it to me if it turned out to be a Stratocaster or a Les Paul or something like that. Kevin says, Walter and I share the same taste in music. Right on. And Linda says, Walter was going to follow the Dead, but ended up having Davy instead. Yeah, it's funny how having children will change your life plans. Walter says, I like a lot of unsigned bands these days. I do too. My favorite thing is like popular songs that are done a different way by other artists. Like when David Allan Coe does songs that are a different style than the original, like Please Come to Boston is a Kenny Loggins song. I like the way David Allan Coe does it, and I like the way that Jackson Browne does it even better. Sue Wood says, Amy, Goodwill has discount days. Look into those and shop then. Right on. I would love to know what kind of guitar it was they had. And they don't have discount days anymore here, says Amy. All right, y'all. It's about 10:30. I'm about to turn into a pumpkin, so I'm going to go to bed now. It was made in China guitar. Okay, well, that's probably worth about $60 then. Probably not much. Jackson Browne was underrated. Yes, he was, Kevin. Jackson Browne's a great musician. He's the reason the Eagles even exist, by the way. They used to practice in his living room. It was between him and that girl that sang, I've been cheated. What's her name? Been mistreated. They started out as a cover band for her, or a backup band for her.
Not Patty Loveless.
No, not Patty Loveless. Linda Ronstadt.
Yes.
Linda Ronstadt. They started out, the Eagles started out as a backup band for her, and so did Jackson Browne was in that band. And then they broke off and became the Eagles. And Jackson Browne went off and did his thing. But he was very underrated. It's a great musician. Look into his version of Please Come to Boston. I think you'll like it. Sue says, well, glad I caught you. I'm glad I caught you too. Kevin says, well, the seats are all empty. Right on. Walter says, Casey Donahue, Drive-By Truckers, Turnpike Troubadours, all good musicians. I like Charlie Robinson too, and Shooter Jennings, my favorite. Kevin says, I can hear him in my mind. Right on. All right. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow night for Politics, and we'll talk about the one thing that happened this week that's worth talking about. Have a great night. God bless each and every one of you. I love you true from the bottom of my heart. I do. I can't wait to see you again. Do me a favor, when you go out into the world tomorrow, be nice to somebody. I promise you, it'll change your life. Do it, see what happens. All right. Kevin says, people stay just a little bit longer. Just a little bit longer. That's a good song. He was a great rock pile. Right on. Kevin says, good night, Jake and Amanda and everyone. Even it's me.
Good night, everybody.
Amy says, I'll try and take a nap so I can be here tomorrow night. We need you. And Linda says, good night all. Thanks, Jake and Amanda, and all of you, heart and heart. I love you guys. Thank you for watching.
Sleep with angels, everybody.
Gross.
What?